What's up, my dudes? My name is Mr. Turley, and this is the track review of OffSeason SX 2015. So, all you guys probably know the other OffSeason SX tracks. They're pretty legendary, and they're a lot of fun. So, this track right here is pretty cool. It's pretty much just like a updated version of them, so it's kind of like just graphically, as far as like the ground decal and stuff, looks better and whatnot. So it's really cool. There's actually a very interesting skybox on this track. It's the skybox is actually a real life picture, which I don't know if I've ever actually seen that before, but it looks pretty crazy. You probably can't tell on YouTube, but when you get to looking at it when you're riding on the track, it's kind of crazy because you're like, what? It kind of feels like you're looking at like a real life sky. It's insane because you really are, because it's a picture of a real life sky. So but yeah, this track's got a lot of crazy rhythms on it. It's kind of like a mixture between OffSeason SX 1 and 2. If any of you guys remember, OffSeason SX 1 had like a lot of very almost a little bit like smoother jumps, but they were unique, not like your standard Supercross track. And then OffSeason SX2 had a lot more standard Supercross track jumps, and I feel like this is kind of a mixture of both of them. So, but it's got a lot of crazy rhythms on it, and it's actually pretty tricky because all your jumps are actually quite rounded. They're not like a 2013 and 14 track. They're more like a 2015 track where all your jumps are very rounded, and it makes it quite hard to huck like triples and stuff like that. It just makes it a little more tricky to do like bigger jumps and stuff on it. But yeah, still a lot of fun. But I mean, you can see right here just unique little sections, and this right here reminds me a lot of the OffSeason SX1 on just how it was kind of like somebody went out there and tried to make a backyard Supercross track. So it wasn't like a perfectly built Supercross track, if that makes sense. It was more like a smoother, not as like tall jumps and stuff. They were all kind of smaller, but they all flowed in a certain kind of way. It's kind of hard to explain, but yeah, a lot of fun though. The skybox looks really cool, and yeah, it's a fun track, man. But all the jumps I feel like are pretty difficult though. I mean, you got some quads like this, or you go into like a triple and stuff, but the whole track's got a pretty interesting vibe to it. It's like a variation to a woodland vibe. It's quite crazy what he's done here. It's not like just a standard, you know, woodland trees and then like a brownie mixed dirt, how most woodland tracks are. The ground actually looks quite dry and kind of cracked in spots and stuff, so it looks really cool. And then the certain trees he's got and the way the grass looks, it's almost got like a northern kind of feeling to it, you know, like almost a winter feeling, but not quite. So it's cool. It's kind of like off season, you know, you hint the name, but then you add the skybox in there, and it just has a very unique feeling overall. It's kind of tough to explain. I've never seen a track quite like it before, but it is a lot different from a standard just woodland kind of track. So and I always love tracks that are totally different like that. But yeah, man, a lot of fun, but a lot of these sections are probably going to trick you up like left and right. So in this whoop section, I'm a little confused on it. I don't know why it's built like it is, but it's totally different than any other whoops out there. That's the only way to explain it. So and you'll flip over the bars super easy on it. So but interesting little jump section right here where you jump all of that and then come back around, and then right here you kind of jump off this ledge and then you land down into that and do a quad and then do like triple. But just the way the jumps are built, they're just not very triangled, you know. They're way more smooth, if that makes any sense. Like 2013 and 14 tracks, they're a little more like triangled, and then you go to the 15s and they're very smooth, and that's kind of how this is. It's not necessarily my favorite. I'm more of a fan of more of those triangular kind of jumps, and this is more just rounded, smooth kind of jumps. So not exactly my cup of tea on Supercross tracks, but still a cool track, and I feel like it's better than OffSeason SX1, but not quite as good as that OffSeason SX2, man. That one's hard to beat. So but some people may really enjoy this kind of track where it's like just very smooth, rounded jumps. But for me, I feel like real life jumps are a little more peaked than this, and they're a little bit more like triangular, but I understand it's off season. It's not meant to be like a perfect track or whatever, but it's just different, man. That's the only way to explain it. You know, it's just a different feeling track, and the only way to tell how it feels is to get on there and ride it, man. And but it's still a lot of fun, and I think he done well with all the off-track stuff, and but you can see it over there in the background. Like, that is a real-life picture. It's not just a skybox that was made. I mean, when you start jumping up like that, you can see like buildings and stuff down there, and that's crazy. I don't even know. I don't know how you would turn that into a skybox. That's pretty cool. I don't think I've ever seen that before on a track. So, but yeah, definitely a fun track. So overall, I'm gonna give it a 9. And I'm going to say the difficulty is hard. So anyways, I appreciate all of you watching these videos, and I'll keep on making them. Peace.